Let's talk about the value added tax, VAT. So um what is VAT? What is value added tax? This is a tax that is levied on the value that a, a business creates. Okay. For instance, if I manufacture pencils, okay, for 100,000, um, and I want to sell them. Okay. So when I'm selling these pencils, I have to add what? Tax, VAT. Let's say the rate is 10%. Okay. So it will be 10% of the cost of manufacturing or my price. Okay. The price I'm charging the customer. So the customer will pay. The customer will pay how much? The customer will pay 100,000 plus 10,000. So it is a tax that is charged on the value you have created. Okay. So for instance, this customer is a retailer. Okay. So here we're assuming that I'm a manufacturer. I'm a manufacturer. Okay. So as a manufacturer, I've charged my customer this amount. So this amount includes my what? My profit as a manufacturer. So I I sell these pencils to my customer who is what? Who is a retailer. Okay. A retailer. Okay. So this retailer will say, oh, okay, I have um I have paid 110,000. So what happens to this 10,000? This 10,000 as a manufacturer will go to the what? To the some call it IRA or the revenue collecting body. Like in Malawi, we call it the Malawi Revenue Authority. Okay, authority. Okay, so this one is will not be treated as my sales, the 10,000. Okay, my sales will be what? The 100,000. And then the customer will pay 110,000. So 110,000 will go to the Malawi Revenue Authority or to the IRA, and the 100,000 will go to the manufacturer. So now, this customer, as a retailer, will say, okay, out of the 100,000 I paid to the manufacturer, I'm adding, I'm adding 25,000, or rather 25% as my profit, and I'll sell to the what? To the final consumer, right? So the total value, okay, the total value will be 100 plus 25. So this includes the profit of the what? The profit of the retailer. But now there's no tax here. So what will happen? Then we'll add the 10%, we'll add the 10% of this value we have added, so times 10% to give us 12,500. So in short, the total cost the ultimate consumer will pay will be what? Will be 137,000. Okay, so what is happening here? This manufacturer had created a value of 100,000, and The VAT was what? Was 10. The retailer, out of the 100,000, created a value of what? 25,000. So what is 10% of 25,000? So this retailer, having created the value of 25,000, there is extra VAT of 2,500. So in short, this is how the what? The VAT works. And this retailer will pay the 12,500 to the revenue authority. Okay? Because this is what the final consumer, let me just remove that. The final consumer will pay 137,000. But this 137,000 will not all go to the what? To the retailer. Okay, yes, it will go to the retailer, but eventually the retailer will only retain 125,000, and this 12,500 will go to the what? To the revenue authority. So this is how VAT works. In some jurisdictions, they call it sales tax. So it is the final consumer of those goods and services. It is a tax on goods. Okay? It is it is a tax on goods and services. Okay? A tax on goods and services. And another takeaway point is it is the final consumer who suffers this tax. Okay? So for instance, these pencils, if as a manufacturer we decide to use them ourselves, okay, it means um we are the one, or let's say this retailer, not this manufacturer, this retailer, okay. If this retailer decides to use the pesos themselves, it means this retailer will pay the the full amount, 110,000. It means it has consumed, right? So there's no need of saying, okay, we have to send the 10,000 to MRI. No, the revenue authority has already collected the 10,000 through the manufacturer. And if the retailer here decides to use all the pesos, it means the VAT will be suffered by the what? The retailer. But here in our case, the retailer's role is to pass on the 10,000 to the final consumer. Okay? So the retailer will only add the VAT on the value uh, they have created. Okay? Here they have created a value of 25,000. So they only add to this 10,000, they only add 2,500. I hope that's clear. Okay, thank you.